Ciao Juventini and welcome to my channel. Today a lot to cover. First, we will give you an update on the FIFA World Cup and what's happening in the US. And second, we touch base on the transfer market. But before we start, please don't forget to subscribe, like, share. Let us know what else you want to cover, what question you have. I will try to cover and give you the answer as quick as possible. Let's start. First of all, an update about the FIFA World Cup. Good news, Locatelli recover from the injury. So tutor, most likely you have him ready for the game for Al Ain. And we have some discretion from around the Juve. And most likely we have this is the squad that will play. In goalie would be Di Gregorio, defense with three, with Gatti on the left, Calulo in the middle, and Savon on the right. Four midfielder with Wea and Cambias as wings, Thuram and Locatelli central, two half strike, Hilditz and Koopmeiners, Colomani as a first strike. Good news, Locatelli is back as I mentioned, but Koopmeiner most likely will play. We think we'll play half game, but is ready. He recovered from the tendinitis, Achilles tendinitis, he says. So that's a fantastic news. What comes to our eyes, there is not Douglas Luiz. We don't know why Tudor doesn't play him. From the indiscretion we heard from the US, Tudor wants to win the first two games that are really easy game and maybe do a lot of turnover with Manchester City. It depends. If we have 6 points and Manchester City has 6 points, losing against Man City doesn't really matter. Will allow us to go to the next stage, so earn more money and continue the progress. And when we talk about the squad, we know, already covered yesterday, Perin didn't go to the US, he has a fracture in his hand. He raised some concern about the timing he spent playing with Juventus, hence why he's thinking to leave. There are a few teams that want him. AC Milan, Max Allegri wants him. The relationship with Max Allegri is amazing, and Allegri wants him as a first or second choice. There are another team like Como that wants him to compete with Butez or Bologna because they're still wondering what's happened with the Polish goalkeeper Sukupski. In my opinion, Perin should go somewhere if he wants to go, but he needs to be the first choice. Now he doesn't need to be the second. And if he needs to be the second, he can be the second at Juventus. He can win trophies. He can get exposed to a lot of things. If he go to Como or Bologna, he needs to be the first choice. So again, if you want to leave Juventus, please go and play. And understand, because still young, he's still 32. He's physically right. He's a good goalkeeper. He's a more old-fashioned goalkeeper, I would say. So he's very good with the hand, within the goalie, but he struggled with the feet, so he can't start the action with his feet. On the other hand, if you look at Di Gregorio, maybe Di Gregorio is not as strong as Perin, I would say, but he's like a new type of goalkeeper. He can play well, he can open up the game. He's a fourth defender if you play with three defenders, because he can really play the ball with the hand. And he hasn't made a lot of mistakes. So again, unfortunately for Perin, and I liked him a lot. He has a very important role in the dressing room. I think Di Gregorio is the future, unfortunately. But we look. Let's move to the next. Let's move to the transfer market. And the Juventus has forecast 150 million. And the big focus is on the striker. Everyone thinks Vlahovic is out. All my colleague in Italy thinks the time in Juventus for Vlahovic is over. If he goes to anywhere, he can score 15 to 20 goals. In Juventus, is still struggling. There are too many chips on his shoulders. The relationship is not great. Every time he has a bad performance, he's been and is under the pressure and the scrutiny. So I'm sure if he goes to AC Milan, he will score 20 goals. And there are some ideas about David in or Gokeres from Sporting Lisbona or Osimhen. between us, I still believe spending 70 or 80 million euros for a striker is a bit risky strategy. And I mean, Osimhen, maybe, but Osimhen, as I mentioned before, is an African Cup, etc. And I don't know. I mean, David Gokeres needs to go somewhere. He scored 30 goals in Sporting Lisbon, if I'm not mistaken, but the Portuguese Championship is not Italian Championship, so the level is a bit different. And David is too expensive. He's a free transfer, but he wants 25 million signing bonus. So again, it's something definitely. Elkan gave Juventus 50 millions, and the other 100 million is to come from selling. Definitely 40 or 50 million will come from Vlahovic. The rest are the usually suspect. We're trying to off-sell Kelly, sell him or give him on loan next season. Douglas Luiz is another one that has a lot of market, especially in the UK. Perrin, as I mentioned before. Bangula, that is very well liked by the other clubs. And I want to spend a bit of time on Rugani Kostic. Rugani, from what I'm hearing, most likely to stay as a fourth defender. The guy is very happy. His contract expires next year, but is happy to extend for another year and spread, or even 2 years, and spread his salary across 2 or 3 years. So again, Rugani, from a cost-benefit point of view, it would be a great operation, costless, no investment, and someone very reliable. Hopefully we'll get some time in the US. Subscribe, like, share, write what you like me to cover next, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Always Forza Juve. Thank you very much. Bye. Bye.